Hey Jesse, how are you?
All is well, sir. How you?
All is well. All
Good.
is well here as well. Thank you. Okay, so my question to you is, how does one overcome an effeminate mind?
Well, once you go and forgive your mother, God will renew your mind. It's a spiritual issue. You can't make yourself overcome that. He will renew your mind from the feminist mindset to his mindset, which is the masculine mindset. But you got to
Yeah,
forgive so he can draw you in. And he will, every morning, he will make everything new. Every day will be a new day.
yeah. I already went and forgave my parents.
Are you doing the
I've been
silent
doing,
prayer?
yes, very consistently. I'm doing the silent prayer every day and every night, and like in
Nice.
the middle of the day as well.
Well,
But the
just
thing is, like, what? Yeah, go ahead.
no. Finish your point. Go ahead.
Like, what I've noticed is, like, I'm I'm living my life from the outside in, and I feel awful about it. Like it doesn't feel natural at all. I'm like after doing the silent prayer so long, I'm starting to I'm noticing all these issues I have, or these maybe flaws. I don't know what to call it, but these I don't know something. But I feel like I know I don't feel I know I'm living from the outside in, and I know that this way of living is 100% feminine, and men, in order to be considered a man, you should be living from the inside out, meaning not be dependent on people, places, and or things, and just being dependent on God only. But what I'm feeling is like I feel this direction or this flow of energy from the world into me, and I'm right now I'm like totally destroyed because of it.
And
And I just don't
how do
know
you
what to
know you?
do.
Give me an example of you living from the outside in.
Like I need maybe like a cigarette or a joint to feel better. I need this person or this lady to think of me in a certain way so I can feel better about
Oh,
myself.
I see.
I need I need people to act in a certain way for me to feel okay and to feel like yes, all is well. And like and I'm starting to actually feel it spiritually moving from the outside in. If that makes any sense, I don't know how what to call it, but
You,
the
you you know what I want you to
upside
become
down or in
aware of.
reverse.
What I want you to become aware of is when you, because you have to think that and feel that in order for that to happen, right? And so what I recommend that you do is be aware of those thoughts and feelings. And when they come, just be aware of them, but don't give in to them. And the pain of it is God taking it away from you. It's all ego, right? And you're gonna feel the pain of wanting attention or wanting this or wanting that because you believed into a thought. And just be aware of that thought, endure the pain, but go about your life. Keep moving forward, go to work, do what you're doing, but don't give into it, and you shall overcome it. You will be made perfect. You will overcome. You will grow in patience. It will just get better, but you got to endure the pain, and don't call it good or bad. Just be aware that it's there when you're in a thought, but get up and do what you got to do. Don't look as though you're going through something. You'll be fine. But you got the light of God now inside of you, and the light will destroy the ego, the darkness.
Yeah, I understand, but like also one of my problems is that I've never seen an an example of that around me. Like
Right.
it's like I don't even know, or I'm not even aware of how things should be. So like I'm enduring. I don't know. At least I think I am, or like I see the pain I'm going through. Like I realize that I'm going through a lot of pain, and I realize that something is horribly off about how I'm living, and I don't have any control over it at all. And it's just like a big frustration for me. Like, but because like I really do need this to change because my life is like all but completely destroyed now. So I just like yeah, but
How is your
so I
life
just thought I'd.
all but completely destroyed? How is that?
Now people are starting to wake up. Like people are turning on me. People think I'm crazy.
But that's
Like
not a sign of your life being destroyed. If you're doing that in the
yeah,
right way, that's a sign of your life being restored.
yeah, but like like it's like I'm losing everything, or like what I thought was important. I'm just like in a period of like I'm everything is being that's how I see it. Like the things I'm depending on. Let's say this, like the things like I depend on people, places, and things, and I'm coming to the realization that when I do actually as a man depend on people, places, and things, that these things are going to let me down 100% of the time,
Right.
because it's all based on a false pretense that you need like people, places, and things to, I don't know, be alive or enjoy life or be full or be whole or whatever. But I know now from listening to you and from actually experiencing that's totally false, and that's a completely horrible way to live for a man, is to be living from the outside in. But the thing is, like, what's so frustrating for me is like I don't have any control over this direction of the spiritual direction, or because it's just so upside down and it's been locked in. I'm 32 years old now, and it's been very locked in to me from for a long time. Like I like growing up, I identified more with my mothers and my aunties and blah blah blah, because my father was beta male, and I didn't think much of it. Even when I started listening to you and went and forgave my parents, I still didn't think much of it, because it's just that's like the reality of my life right now. So I didn't like really notice it for some reason. But now that I'm noticing it, and I'm noticing that I don't have any control over it, it's just like I need to do something about it. There's this urge in me to change that, like to reverse this pattern.
But there is nothing you can do. No human being
Yeah,
is in control of anything. And that's why you do the silent prayer, so you can be aware and you will see that you're not in control. You've never been in control. And you'll be glad to see that, so that the Father within would guide you. He would control your life for you. You've never been in control of anything. So I would be glad to see that. I, what are you doing in front of you? How are you acting with your friends that they are turning on you?
I just don't want to see them anymore, or like
Oh, I see.
but that more. No, who's turning on? My family is turning on me. My wife turned on me.
Can you
She's
hold
building an
for me?
army against me. Yeah, sure, just
Yeah,
no
hold on,
problem.
buddy.
Thanks.
I want to go back to Egypt. We're here Monday through Friday, heard around the world by everybody and their mama. If you missed church service yesterday, it was amazing. You can podcast that. rebuildingtheman.com/church. rebuildingtheman.com/church. All right, make sure you do that. So Magid is losing all his friends, and they're falling away, and wife turned on him, and he's having a little difficult time with that. Maggie, you said that your wife turned on you, right?
Yeah.
And what made her turn on you?
Well, first of all, because I'm weak. Like the dynamic of the relationship is completely upside down, as with like most relationships these days. And like at some point, I decided to not cater anymore and to not like pander to the ego and stuff, and to just like try to. I couldn't like help anyone before like I helped myself. I don't know. It's just a big mess, you know.
And so you stopped catering to her ego, and what happened?
She was like after I stopped doing that, I guess what happened is like I was no longer of value to her,
Right.
and since I was so weak and so I don't know, like not a man basically, so she just thought it was okay to like walk out on me and to tell all my business to everyone and all that. Like I'm even extremely hesitant to talk about this because she might like listen and go tell her friends and family, like, look at what he's saying and look at what he's doing.
And
No?
do you have children with her?
Yeah, I have a daughter. Yeah,
How old is your
3 year
daughter?
old. 3 years old.
Oh,
And that's the thing that hurts me the most about all of this. Is, I don't want anything. I just want to be a father to my daughter, and because I just feel like very sad for my daughter
yeah.
to be like in the middle of all this mess, and like I think this mess is like totally unwarranted, and I don't know. It's just a big mess, and I know like it's. I deserve all of what's happening. Like I got involved with the wrong person, I guess, or something. But
Yeah.
I know that the solution lies within me. I have to like I don't know, like for lack of a better statement, like I need to be making that change, or I need to start following the right things instead of following the wrong things, and I need to stop relying on people, places, and things for my well-being. It's just a huge mess right now, and yeah.
And your friends, do they want to be around you, or you don't want to be around them?
Yeah, I'm not interested anymore in like hanging out on the corner and doing drugs and talking about nonsense.
Yeah.
It's just that yeah, like I've always been introverted, and I've always been interested in like learning and reading, and like nobody around me shares the same interests as I
Right.
do. Even when if I start like speaking about like these things, like the things like maybe you discuss on the show, everybody's gonna look at me funny, and like I just think that it's just best for me to keep my eyes on myself as best as I can.
And so your wife moved out, am I right?
Yep.
And she took your child, and now she's talking about you behind your back to other people.
Yep.
And how do you know that?
Because everybody's involved in my business.
Are they contacting
And
you about it?
oh yeah, man.
And when they
Yep.
contact you about it, what do you say?
They outline everything that I've done wrong.
But how do
Everybody,
you deal with that, though, when they do that? How do you deal with them?
unfortunately, I overreact.
By doing what?
I'm trying to defend myself, trying to prove my point,
Oh, okay.
trying to
And
not play the victim, I guess, but just okay. Go ahead, Jeff.
they believe what she says about you.
Yeah, because most of it's true. Like the reasons she gives for walking away is that like I'm doing drugs and I'm not being an adequate provider and stuff. But like deep down inside, I know that's not really the case. It's just because she doesn't value me. She's not very respectful of me.
Yeah.
Like we're very conflicting. She's a very willful person. She makes all these assumptions about me which are not true, and she's like stuck. Like she basically, like when she was like I told her this a lot. Like you don't know who I am. You're dealing with some sort of image you have of me in your head, and that's not real.
Yeah.
And it's causing problems. So like, and I couldn't deal with it anymore. So like things just came to a boiling point, and everything just exploded in the end. And the thing is, like, what I've realized through all of this is like this is all my fault because I was dependent on her being a certain way for me to
Yeah.
be okay with my work or to do things like something along those lines. I'm a bit confused, and I'm way too much in my head about all of this, and I'm like trying to understand. But at the same time, I think I feel like, or I realize that there's nothing really to understand. It's just like I need to do what's in front of me to do, because like that's where the problem started. Was me not.
Hello? Your phone went out.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here.
Oh, okay. Let me ask you: Are you
Can you
working?
hear me now?
Are you working?
Yeah, I do freelance, but like ever since this started, like I haven't been working as much. I've been so in my head about things, so like I'm not really up to working. I'm not in the mood of working to work. Like, so it's just because I'm like way too much in my head. I'm like,
Yeah. And so, how do you feel about this change that is happening? How do you feel about it?
like I know so a good change in me is happening, but because I'm going through so much trouble, like I sometimes doubt, like a very small doubting, like am I doing the right thing, or or is it normal for me to be going through all of this, or I'm at the point where it's just like very confusing and I'm not very well able to deal with things because I'm so in my head, and like I try to stay out of my head as much as possible. So intense and like a lot of things are happening at the same time. So
Yeah. Here's what's happening to you, man, is amazing. And now and the pain that you're feeling about these changes happening, your wife walked away, but you see the reality of who she really is. You don't have that same desire to be hanging out with phony friends. You see these people calling you up and telling you what she said, and they'll believe in her over you rather than hearing both sides. And it's not important to them anyway. It's not even their business. So
yeah, nobody cares about me.
yeah, and so you, the pain that you feel about this change is telling you that these things were too important to you. You love your wife, your children, your child, your phony friends more than God Himself, right? And now that
Yeah.
now that that is changing, you're feeling the pain of losing your gods. And so this is amazing, man. I went through that. Anyone who endure, they go through that. But it doesn't feel like on the other side it's amazing, right? But it really, really is. You're being renewed. You're being made into the Son of God. And when it's all over, you'll be in the world, but not of it. You can take it or leave it. No one or nothing will be that important to you. And God will only be your God. Now, I know it feels painful and feel horrible, but that's the ego dying, and you are coming alive, and you're going to be fine, man. You just have to endure it. Doubt every thought about it, what you're going through. Doubt every thought, because Satan will use those thoughts to make you doubt God. So doubt every thought. All thoughts are all lies all the time. When they tell you, oh, you lost your wife, you're living from the outside, you're this and that, don't believe any thoughts about anything. And God is with you. And this pain that you're enduring is the best thing that could be happening to you. It just doesn't feel like it right now, but you will get past if you endure.
Yep, and Satan is busy.
Yeah, he gets
Super
really
busy.
busy in any kind of situation, especially if something that you have to endure, you have to let go of. He will really get on you about, try to deceive you. But you got to remember that all thoughts are all lies all the time about anything. And whatever those people are saying about you, whatever, be glad to see that, because you see that those are not real friends. It's
Yeah.
always been fake friends, fake family members. It's never been real. And when God restore you, as He's doing, He will put people in your life that would be amazing. It would be real friends. It would be closer than a blood family. It would be fine. But you
Yep.
got to endure this pain. This is the pain that most people run away from, and they go to these so-called phony experts with degrees, and the experts end up giving them medication. Oh, you're depressed, or you're anxious, or you're suicidal, and all that crap. And they just make the situation worse and not better. It's not personal. the ego is dying, and you're becoming alive. And be glad that that woman is gone because she's never been your real wife anyway. It was a fake wife, and be glad to hear that she's out there saying things about you to others because you see you can never trust her. This is why another reason men should never tell women any of their issues at all, and be careful who you tell the men that you say it to, because they will turn on you when needed.
Yep, this is also one of the biggest mistakes I've done. Like one of the very big mistake I've done with her is to tell her that I actually speak with you. And when she like snooped around online and like saw the calls, like what I was talking to you, like she absolutely hates me and you now.
Yeah, she hate God too, so she hate His image. And be glad to see that, man.
Yeah. Yep.
And
Okay.
and and now that you're not catering to her, you're seeing the real hell in her. And it was
Yep.
always there, but you were too weak to deal with her in the right way. And so she was just controlling you with it. But now that she can't
Yep.
control you, she would try to destroy you.
Yep. And like the thing is also like when she left, like I was very upset about it because I don't know. I'm just like I'm not like I don't really believe that like the family should be destroyed or whatever, you know. So like I was willing to put up with anything just to keep the family unit together. I realized that was somehow wrong.
It is. That's right.
And I was like, what you're doing is a mistake, and you can't be doing this, and this is not right, and
Yeah.
and it just counts for nothing in the end, you know, because
A
I
wo-
just don't hold any value for her anymore.
Nice. A woman like that is evil. The fact that she's taking your daughter away from you now, she was going to destroy your daughter anyway. With you being weak and when you're not paying attention, she would turn your daughter against you. So that was going to happen anyway. And now that she's taking your daughter away, you see the pure hell evil that's in her. And once again, you're going to hurt. Men hurt when they lose their children. Fathers hurt, right? Because fathers
Yeah.
love their children. But you must endure that as well, because whatever's important to you is what she would try to destroy you with.
Yep.
And because women don't have love, she feels nothing about destroying your child because she knows that it's hurting you.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what's happening.
And that's
Even
why
though
God,
she didn't- if-
that's why God
if
said
it-
that
if-
we shouldn't love anybody, anything, not even our own reputation, more than Him. We should love Him with all our heart, all our might, all our mind, right? And that way, if the world takes something away from you, all right, you can have it, but you're not going to get my soul, right? You'll be protected.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, and like I know that that's what's happening, even though if she denies it. But like I see now, like it's extremely useless to try to talk sense to certain people, you know.
Yes,
Like,
it's a waste of
even
time.
like, yeah, and I say like, you know I have my own problems. I'm basically a broken person, but I have no intentions of hurting anyone personally.
That's right.
But
Exactly.
the thing is, like, what you're doing is like you want to hurt me as a person, or you're lashing out at me like
Yeah.
in an extremely inhumane way. Like, please, some sort of like baseline of respect, regard like seeing as like I got married to you, I'm committed, and I don't want to leave, and like I'm the father of this child. So at least some like slither, like some respect, but even that, like I can't ask for, because when I ask for that, it means I'm weak.
Yes. When you ask for that, that's what she's going to use against you because she knows that it's important to you and she's evil. The one thing I do want to remind you of, God said that anyone who has anger is a murderer, right? So your wife
Yep.
and the world around you is wicked. Anyone, I don't care who it is, mama, daddy, brother, sister, so-called friend, employee, whatever, if they have one iota of anger, that's your enemy. They will destroy you
Yep.
when they want to, at least try to. But when you
Yep.
overcome them, they cannot destroy you. They can take material things away or whatever, but you will not be destroyed. You'll be protected.
And I've seen this how this anger and hatred like destroys lives. Like I've seen it
Yes.
play out with my own family, and I try to explain that to her. Like this is what like this attitude of yours or this way you're dealing with me. This is the root of all destructions. And
Absolutely.
her reply is, what you're talking about is superficial. These are all superficial issues. Like what the? It's not superficial.
Well, what it is, she's angry. I have this amazing soundbite coming up here in a minute where this former KGB,
Yeah, you or you. Yeah, I've heard his stuff. He's great.
he talks about that, and it's perfect what he's saying. When you're angry, you're in a trance. You're in a hypnotic trance, and you don't know it. And so your wife cannot see because she's blinded by the darkness of her anger. So the wise things sound foolish to her. And even if she, I mean, there's nothing you can do to prove it to her. So don't even try because she literally cannot see. And she will not be able to see until the spirit of anger is taken away from her.
Yep. And I've tried to make her see that, but it just didn't work because of whatever. I don't know.
Have you been chasing her since she left?
Yeah, honestly, but like I tried I told her if you want to come back, and like I've tried to talk her out of what she's doing. I tried to tell her, please don't put my business in the street, but of course, like nothing I say like it just doesn't matter, you know.
Right. So listen, man.
All the
From this day forward, be done with her. Don't chase her. Don't call her. Have nothing to do with her because chasing her will weaken you. And the more you try to chase her, the less she will want to, well, she'll pretend that she does, I'm not coming back, you're this and you're that. And then she'll put demands upon you. And that will end up destroying you. If you should get her back, it's over because you cater to her ego. And she will make you beg just to weaken you. Do not do that. Do not let her be gone. Wish her well, wish your child well, and live your life. And God will guide you. And when it's time to get your child back, God will bring your child back to you. He will return her to you. And you'll be ready for it.
Yep, I see all that now, and I see also that this attempt of chasing her, trying to talk her out of what she's doing, is also a part of the effeminate mindset. Like,
yes,
it's like super upside down. Like I'm the one that's trying to keep the quote unquote nest together.
I know. What a beta.
You're like, yeah, man, it's super. I'm super sick of myself. Thanks, Chris. Yeah, I was waiting for that one.
He said thumbs up. He did the thumbs up. But you're doing fine, man. It just doesn't feel like I went through that. I've talked about it somewhere in my church services, how I had to endure the pain. But I didn't, at the time, there was no one I can talk to about it. So I had to just, I had no other choice but to endure it. It was almost like it was put up on me to endure it. Because I couldn't stop myself from going through it. It was so rough. There were moments when I wanted to, but I couldn't. And so I know now I couldn't because the Father was with me, and He was doing it. He was causing me to change. He was renewing my mind. He was taking away the nature of my mother, which is evil, right? And He was restoring His nature in me. And it's amazing. So, and the more you endure it without calling it good or evil, without complaining about it, the less painful it would be, it become easy, right? But what happens if you have to do something else, and you will, you'll be more ready to deal with whatever else to come. And so, and God is fighting your enemy within. your thoughts are your enemy. They're not your own. They're your enemy, right? So he's fighting the enemy within, and he's fighting the enemy on the outside. You just can't see it with your physical eyes. Just have faith and never doubt. You'll see. It's going to blow your mind.
Yeah, I get glimpses of this like every so often, but like I just can't seem to remain in that state.
And when you
I
don't
don't
for
know,
a
like
while, if you don't, let's say you give in to the pain a little bit, you smoke a joint or whatever. Don't judge yourself for it. Or you can ask
Yeah.
Christ to help you with this one. Hey, Christ, help me with this pain. Is this more than I can handle? And he will help you. He's with you too, and he will help you.
Yep.
And in all honesty, you have no other choice because now you know you got a taste of the truth. You're not going to be happy going back to the lie again. You won't be able to go back.
Yeah, I can.
Yeah. So you really have no other choice but to endure it because the hell you're coming out of, no one wants that again, right? You never want to go through that again.
Yep.
So
Life is so upside down.
yeah, if the world forsake you, just know God is with you. You're fine, man.
Yep. Yep. Okay, thank you very much for taking my call, and thank you for the wise words, Jesse.
And
I
you're
really do
welcome.
appreciate it.
And I understand that it's difficult in that around you, in your circle, in Egypt, in your neighborhood, or wherever you are. You have no one to fellowship with because they don't understand. They can't see what you see, right? So I understand that, but that's fine too. God is with you. You'll be fine.
Yep. Yeah, like and the whole like institution of marriage here in Egypt, it's like it's as messed up as it is on your end, or even more so. But
Yeah.
I'd love to tell you about it like some other time.
Okay. Yeah, it's
really
messed up.
awful,
Marriage
you know?
on this end is
Yeah.
not worth a dime. It's not in the name
Yeah.
of God at all, even though in some cases they say his name, especially the Bible thumpers. But it's not from God. God is not uniting them together. That's why they don't last.
It's a marriage in hell, and it's like it's a setup that destroyed the man, basically.
Yes.
To absolutely eradicate any sort of masculine energy in the household, like that's what I'm going through. Like,
Well, this is why God is returning the men back to him. There will come a day when I return the children to the fathers and the fathers to the children. There are men and women around the world who are returning to the Father because if they don't, the earth will be destroyed. And so,
yeah, exactly.
And so he's returning the children to him, and greater is he that's in us than he that's in the children of the lie. So it's going to work out. You're going to be amazed at how amazing real life is as opposed to the phony life of the ego.
Yeah, the ego is super phony, and it's not even real. Like it's a total lie.
It's sure the whole thing is a lie. It's a total lie. But when you're angry, you can't see that, and no one can convince you of that.
Yeah, and it's because I've let go, like in a large part of my anger, and I'm like starting to see. It's like it just seems like the problem keeps getting bigger and bigger, and like I'm like, no, it's not. The problem is not getting bigger per se. It's just like I'm more aware of how
That's
messed up
right.
things are.
Absolutely, man. The problem is not getting bigger. It was already big, and you were not aware. But now you're aware of it, and it just seemed like it's getting big, but it was already that way. That's amazing.
Yep.
Well, Magnet, thank you for your call, man. It was an amazing call, but you're doing fine.
Yeah.
Endure the pain quietly. If your friends and all them turn on you, be glad to see that because they were never friends anyway. Do not chase that woman at all because you're chasing hell. And if you let it back in, it will destroy you.
Yeah, I'm gonna avoid this at all costs. You know, if it just so happens that I get back in this situation, which I highly doubt, I'll probably end up killing myself.
Yeah, you know what? Don't go back to hell. You don't want that.
Yeah.
What the?
This woman was the wrong woman for you anyway.
Yeah, I really do know. And then, like, when I started getting together with her, like, the 14 consciousness, like very early on. I've been with her for like 10 years.
Yeah.
But in like the first year or something, like something inside of me was telling me, no, like that this isn't right, this isn't the right one. But she seduced me
Yeah.
into like staying or something.
Absolutely. But
and
listen,
it was like,
I gotta take a break. Stay with the prayer. You're doing fine.
Sure. Okay. Thank you very much for your time, Jesse.
All right. Call me again.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, man.
God bless. Bye-bye.
And God bless you. That's an amazing call. I totally understand it. Went through the same thing. That was an amazing call, folks. You got to die from the ego. The pain that you're going to experience when the light comes on is just the light killing the darkness inside of you. Really, that's what, but it feels like you because it's in the body. And it just feels like you. And then Satan working overtime in your mind telling you, oh, you're losing your friends. They're thinking this or that about you. It's not working. All thoughts are all lies all the time. And Satan knows that if you were to be still, he can't touch you. But as long as you hooping and hollering and carrying on, he's happy with that because you're emotional. And God is not an emotional God. He's a dispassionate God. Satan is your emotional God. And the last thing Satan wants you to do is be still and know the Father. He doesn't want that. And so he's playing a game. Doubt every thought about anything at all times. Really. And just stay present and endure. And when your fake friends and family members and others turn away from you, be glad to see that. They were never real family. They may have been blood family, but they're not your friends. Friends don't treat each other that way. They have love for one another. They can see, they understand. But be glad to see it. It'll be disappointing in the beginning, but in the end, you'll be grateful for that. Really, you really will. And you would learn to live, you would come to a point in life where you can live with yourself and no one around, or if you're around someone, you're married or you have friends, you'll be fine either way because you would love God with all your heart, all your soul, all your might, along with nothing else, you'll be fine. And it'll be amazing to live in the world like that, where you're in it, but not of it. You're not controlled by it. And you will see the world going crazy. Really. It's insane. Amazing. And don't forget to like, follow, tweet, subscribe, and share the Jesse Lee Peterson radio show, folks. We really appreciate it. We are at war. It is a spiritual battle for the soul of America. And it's going to take all of us to do it.